The girl brushed aside her flowing hair. The dragon tattoo on her shoulder started to wriggle. In the next moment, that very dragon emerged from the girl's body. This is the highly anticipated movie The School for Good and Evil, following in the footsteps of Harry Potter. At the beginning of the story, two best friends, Sophie and Agatha, are introduced. Sophie is gentle and sweet, while Agatha is brooding and aloof, but neither of them is welcomed by the villagers. In the village, there's a legend that 20 years ago, during the Blood Moon Feast, a girl vanished into thin air. Everyone said she was taken to the magical school in another world. After hearing this, Sophie immediately made a wish beneath the old tree, hoping to be taken to the school for good and evil. That very night, a mysterious shadow appeared before them. Fearing for her friend's safety, Agatha held Sophie's hand tightly, crossing through a crimson mist. The two of them arrived in the legendary world of magic. In the School for Good, teachers pricked the girls' fingertips with a brooch. Then, the girls could control magic. However, in the School for Evil, after being pricked, the girl experienced excruciating pain, because to gain the power of evil, one must endure unbearable suffering. Agatha was assigned to the School for Good, while the beautiful Sophie ended up in the School for Evil. Sophie couldn't accept this reality and immediately approached a teacher. She believed beauty was the standard for goodness. Being so beautiful, how could she be placed in the School for Evil? Agatha also felt the school had made a mistake in their placement. The environment she grew up in made her feel like she lacked a kind personality. The two girls sought out the king of this world, but he told them there was no mistake. However, he revealed if an evil person could receive true love's kiss in the end, they could change their identity. The girl was just making a wish by the pond, hoping everyone could go home. However, it caused a riot among the fish. Countless moonlight fish gathered and took on human forms. Agatha caught one of them from the water.
100 years since I failed. 100 years of granting wishes.
It turns out in this academy, if students fail 3 times, the school will transform them into various strange animals. At this moment, a skeletal bird swooped down toward everyone. The students scattered in fear, but the strange bird didn't harm Agatha. Looking into the bird's eyes, Agatha recognized that it was the same classmate who had failed 3 times and been punished by the school just the day before. However, the prince, who arrived upon hearing the commotion, paid no heed and killed him with a single strike. Agatha was very angry.
What did you do?
But to her surprise, her good friend Sophie had fallen in love with the prince and hoped to receive true love's kiss from him. This is the first human-animal hybrid bred by human. The couple raised it as their own child. It has a voracious appetite and grows at an astonishing pace, transforming into a young girl in just 5 days. However, it possesses peculiar feet and a tail reminiscent of an animal. They named it Dren. One day, Dren appears to have a fever, prompting the wife to place it in water to cool down. The man, weary of the situation, reaches a breaking point. He resolutely pushes the creature into the water, intending to end its life once and for all. Surprisingly, Dren doesn't perish. Instead, it starts to breathe underwater. It turns out that the man's unintended action activated its amphibious lungs. Growing at an astonishing speed, she became an adult in just 3 days. Dren began to question her appearance and gender. At night, she even secretly observed the couple's intimate activities. Frustrated with unfulfilled desires, she became extremely temperamental, flipping tables and smashing objects. Then, she jumped onto the ceiling and escaped through the skylight. The couple hurriedly chased after her. As she looked out into the world, she felt that this was the life she needed. Just as she took a step forward, she accidentally stepped into thin air, seemingly about to fall. But then, something magical happened. The man taught her how to dance. As they danced, the atmosphere gradually took on a more alluring tone. Thankfully, the man managed to control himself just in time, avoiding a disastrous mistake. When the wife returned, she brought a little kitten for the girl as a gift. However, instead of showing gratitude, the girl coldly used her tail spike to kill the kitten. The woman was enraged and immediately slapped her across the face. Fortunately, the girl didn't retaliate with full force but instead snatched her key. She felt ecstatic, preparing to escape from there. The wife bound her on the bed. The man, who had returned home, felt immense pity upon seeing little beauty and quickly freed her from her restraints. The sight of the naked girl in front of him left the man both bewildered and infatuated. And then, A wolf discovered a human skin and daringly decided to entertain a peculiar notion. He wanted to become a human. He began by identifying a suitable spot to make an opening. Then, he inserted his head into the human skin. Gradually, his arms and legs followed suit, causing the previously empty skin to inflate instantly. In this peculiar fashion, a wolf clad in human skin was born. Standing upright, the wolf attempted to walk into the city, trying to mimic human strides with his wolfish legs. It was a clumsy affair, and he narrowly escaped being hit by a car. The wolf quickly realized that the human world was rife with danger, so he carefully observed the humans. Before long, he discovered a fundamental rule of human existence: they needed to go to work. So he channeled his wolfish work ethic day and night. And indeed, it didn't take long before he earned the admiration of his superiors, eventually rising to the rank of vice president. With this newfound status, the wolf moved into a grand mansion. The man was prancing around in the meadow, his gait resembling a playful dog. On the other side, a group of workers watched in utter bewilderment. Little did they know that this man wasn't a man at all, but a sly and crooked-eyed wolf. When the old wolf noticed the workers looking at him, he stood up, casually waved his hand. This scene left them mystified. In this manner, the old wolf started to live a life of luxury, and he even married a beautiful wife. However, he felt a deep sense of unease that he couldn't put into words. It wasn't until he saw a Pomeranian that the wolf suddenly had an epiphany. The next day, the wolf eagerly purchased a small cat, but in the very next moment, he was discovered by his daughter.
Is that for me?
With no other option, the wolf reluctantly gave the small cat to his daughter. In the following days, the wolf's desire for raw meat grew stronger with each passing moment. This was especially true when he saw his daughter playing with the small cat. Suddenly, tears and drool filled his mouth.
I can't control my urges much longer.
The man crazily gnawed on his colleague. When the onlookers saw his wolfish mouth, everyone present was left in shock. In a frenzy, the man dashed back home. However, much to his surprise, his wife, upon seeing his wolf-like appearance, also wanted to expel him. Frantically, he tried to explain to his wife, but she remained unfazed. In desperation, the man rapidly tore off the human skin, thinking that this would help his wife accept him. Nevertheless, his wife still threw him out. With nowhere to hide, he had no choice but to run for his life, with the crowd relentlessly chasing him. Eventually, he found himself in the forest he once knew, only to discover that it had undergone a profound transformation. He stood at a crossroads, bewildered, when suddenly,
Okay, good.